What's up everybody, this is Master Ian Gamer back with my second video for today. My first video was showing off the brand new Malavento Deathmatch map, which if you haven't seen that video already, I do strongly recommend you check it out because it's a lot more positive than this video is going to be. But anyways, speaking of this video, Blizzard finally made an official response, so to say, or I guess I should say the Overwatch team made an official response to the allegations and harassment lawsuit which was filed back in July. And so, lo and behold, we finally have their proper response, and I'm going to read through it here and then give my thoughts on the things they're talking about. We built the Overwatch universe around the idea that inclusivity, equity, and hope are the building blocks of a better future. They are central to the game and to the Overwatch team. As we continue to discuss how we best live up to our values and to demonstrate our commitment to creating a game world that reflects them, we believe it's necessary to change the name of the hero currently known as McCree to something that better represents what Overwatch stands for. We realize that any change to such a well-loved and central hero in the game's fiction will take time to roll out correctly, and we'll share updates as this work progresses. In the near term, we had planned to kick off a narrative arc in September, supported with new story and game content, of which McCree was a key part. Since we want to integrate this change into that story arc, we will be delaying the new arc until later this year, and instead launch a new free-for-all map this September. Going forward, in-game characters will no longer be named after real employees, and we will be more thoughtful and discerning about adding real-world references in future Overwatch content. This will help reinforce that we're building a fictional universe that is unmistakably different from the real world and better illustrates that the creation of Overwatch is truly a team effort. Work on these updates is underway, and they are just a part of our ongoing commitment to honest reflection and making whatever changes are necessary to build a future worth fighting for. We know that actions speak louder than words, and we hope to show you our commitment to making Overwatch a better experience in-game and continue to make our team the best it can be. Alright, there is quite a bit to unpack here. First and foremost, McCree is no longer going to be named McCree. I'm going to have a hot take here on this one. I think this is a dumb change. I think this is an incredibly dumb change. For those of you who aren't aware, in the sexual harassment allegations and lawsuit, one of the people who was accused of being one of the harassers was the, I believe, Diablo developer named Jesse McCree, who is an actual developer at Blizzard and is the person for whom the fictional Overwatch hero, Jesse McCree, is named after. Given what we've learned about the Blizzard developer, many people felt it necessary to rename the fictional character, who has nothing to do with the actual developer outside of sharing the same name. Now, a lot of people are excited about this. A lot of people think McCree's name needs to change because he was named after a honestly garbage person. And that's fair. I totally understand that perspective, and going forward, certainly you wouldn't want to intentionally name a hero after someone who you know is a bad actor or bad individual, but to retroactively go back and change McCree after he's been a well-known and beloved character for the better part of a decade at this point, and who's a character that the vast majority of people have no idea his name is even linked to any sort of real-world person, to suddenly go and just change that name because the person who he happened to be named after turns out to be a bad individual. I think that is just a very, very dumb decision and is horribly disrespectful to McCree as a character. Now, okay, yeah, McCree's a fictional character. He doesn't have real feelings. It's not like he's going to be upset to have his name changed. But the idea that we're going to have to start sanitizing this character just because of some unfortunate happenstance in the real world with his real world name inspiration, that's just dumb. Does the fictional character McCree, who countless people adore and love because of his own fictional characteristics and personality traits, does this character just mean nothing on his own anymore? Are we supposed to imagine that he's purely a byproduct of this horrible developer that he was named after? Can he not just stand on his own as a character who happens to have the name Jesse McCree? If nothing else, I think the biggest reason this is a bad idea on Blizzard's part is because all this is going to do is draw more attention to the real world scumbag. Just take a look at Twitter. Look at Twitter and look at the responses to this post that Blizzard made on the official Overwatch Twitter account. So many people had no idea that McCree was even named after anyone, let alone someone as horrible as the real-life developer. And now, the changing of McCree's name, all that's gonna do is draw more attention to the real-life bad actor. All you're doing is giving him more attention, drawing more focus onto this person who we want to have removed from the scene. We don't want him as part of Blizzard anymore. And I believe he was one of the people who was already fired or let go, or however they handled that. I can't remember for sure. I'd have to double check on that one. And now, by calling out, oh, hey, we're going to change McCree's name because he was named after this bad guy, all that's going to do is create confusion within the gaming community and draw more focus to what this person did. Now, I guess you could argue that that's good in that we want to be aware of the bad things which happened within Blizzard so that we can call it out and push for better change. And that's a fair counter argument, I suppose, in terms of why we should change McCree's name at this point, since it would be a way to draw attention. But honestly, has the Overwatch hero McCree not established his own identity enough at this point? Is he not so defined as a character within pop culture and the gaming community that, if nothing else, he's sort of redeemed the name Jesse McCree? The name Jesse McCree doesn't belong to some terrible developer as far as I'm concerned. Sure, maybe there's a man with that name, but when I hear Jesse McCree, I think of the heroic cowboy, the hero from Overwatch that is beloved by millions of people. Who cares if the name originated with the developer? The name now belongs to the cowboy. Honestly, I'm not great at really talking about these sorts of controversial and heated topics. I feel like my explanation of why this is such a dumb decision is probably going to be very hectic and muddled because I didn't script this out or anything. This is just me saying my thoughts in response to this. So yeah, overall, I think this is a dumb decision. Very dumb decision to rename McCree, and I would actually encourage Blizzard to reconsider this decision they've made. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. I would very much like to hear your thoughts regarding it in the comments down below. Absolutely, I understand that there are arguments on both sides, and I am very interested in hearing what people have to say for why or why not they think McCree should be renamed. But there are other things to talk about in this post, which I would like to get onto. One actually exciting thing is that they mentioned there was apparently going to be some new story content coming in September, which was delayed because they decided to rename McCree. Now, I find it sort of interesting how they mentioned that they're going to delay the story arc until later this year, and that instead they decided to launch a new free-for-all deathmatch map in September, which of course is referring to Malevento, the new map, which I already made a video on earlier today. I find it very funny how they mention this because the way they word it makes it sound like we were going to be getting Malevento later, but then decided to bring it forward in order to fill the gap that otherwise would have had the story. When in actuality, due to the leak we got back in July, we knew Malevento was supposed to release a month ago. So yeah, I don't know if Blizzard intended for it to come across this way, but it does kind of sound like they're manipulating some information to make it look like they're better spacing things out, while never having to admit that they delayed Malevento due to the controversy. Regardless though, I am glad that we did finally get the new deathmatch map. It is a beautiful new map. I loved getting to explore it in my video earlier today, and I'm certainly going to be playing on it quite a bit since I am a big fan of deathmatch. But in addition to that, I am glad to see that there is new story content coming as well. This is actually something I was going to talk about in a video I had planned for a couple days from now, where I was going to talk about how story content is something Blizzard should be focusing on right now, and the fact that they aren't is concerning. But it sounds like they were going to have some story content that, unfortunately, like everything else the Overwatch team seems to do at this point, ended up getting delayed. So we'll have to wait for that. I am very excited, though. That is definitely something interesting to look forward to. And to close off this video, I guess, just to touch on the McCree renaming thing real quickly. At the very least, I hope they find an interesting in-universe way to rename the character. If people just suddenly start calling him Bob or something, that'll be dumb. But maybe they can sort of play it out in the story where he, like, in universe changes his name. And I feel like there's already some, like, leeway for them to do that, given that Jesse McCree isn't, like, his actual name in universe, and there's the whole sort of weird thing going on there that's never been very clearly defined. So I hope at the very least they find a creative and natural feeling way to change his name, if that's the direction they end up going, which it sounds like it will be, so that it's not as big of a shock to the system, and they'll at least, from a narrative standpoint, be able to redeem the decision somewhat. Anyways, these have been my thoughts on this post made by the Overwatch dev team. I'm interested in seeing what they do regardless going forward. Again, I disagree with the name change for McCree. I think it's a dumb decision, but if they're committed to it, they're committed to it, and I just hope that they do right with the character going forward and with other characters in the future. Once again, definitely let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, and as always, thank you so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe, follow me on Twitter, hit up that bell icon, and come join my Discord server to hang out and never miss any of my future Overwatch content. Special thanks to my YouTube channel members who help make these videos possible, and if you'd like to join them to earn some cool rewards, then just hit that join button down below. Otherwise, this is Master Ian Gamer signing off, and until next time, have a great day.